What's up, Lantern fans? It's the Emerald Enthusiast, the co-host of the Emerald Echo podcast. Here with a look at the Mattel DC Universe Classics action figure of Green Lantern, Katma Tui. Katma Tui has been painfully underrepresented when it comes to collectibles. She played a key role in the history of Green Lantern as the trainer and eventually the wife of John Stewart. She is part of the Kilowog Build-A-Figure wave, as you can see the torso here included with her. The figure comes in the old school card and bubble packaging. On each side of the packaging, we see information about the Build-A-Figure wave. John Stewart is also included in this wave, as you can see on the back here, as well as the other characters that are represented. The bottom back features this brief biography of Katma Tui. If you'd like to read this, please pause the video and do so now. Katma Tui's first appearance was in Green Lantern Volume 2, number 30. You can get a decent raw copy of this for about $25. If you're wondering if I have a fully assembled Kilowog, the answer is yes. This is one of my favorite figures. Mint on card collectors should be happy with this piece. The figure is centered well. The accessories are positioned off to each side. And my only criticism is that the Build-A-Figure piece blocks the view of her feet. And now it's time to bust this figure out of the package and see what's inside. Here is the figure free of the outer packaging, but still bound to the inner plastic. Here is a quick look at the Kilowog Collect and Connect torso. Let's have a look at accessories now. And as you can see here, this is a construct blade. And I do like the sculpting on this. And over here we have a shield with the Green Lantern logo on it. And both of these fit over the ring hand. There's something sticky on both of these, and I have another Katma Tui figure, and the accessories are not like that. I don't know if that's some kind of chemical breakdown or if some kind of resin got spilled on these, but I'm going to have to clean these up. While I wish she would have had a personal power battery, I do like these two accessories. And here we see Katma Tui out of the package and ready to rumble. While this figure does have some obvious problems, I'm very thankful that there was a 6-inch Katma Tui action figure produced. I really wish that there were more Katma Tui figures on the market, but with that being said, let's take a closer look at the loose details of this figure now. Let's start with a look at the lower body, and I really appreciate the work by Mattel here. I think the musculature looks good. I like the boots. I wish there would have been some sculpting at the top of the boots. But I also like this color choice. Even though I usually prefer more metallic greens, this is the type of coloring that they used for Volume 2. So this is accurate. I do like how glossy the black sections of the uniform are. She doesn't come with a peg base, but as you can see, she does have holes in her feet. So if you have an extra peg base lying around, you can use it for this figure. Now let's have a look at the torso. And I do like the body mold here. I think it is accurate to the way Katma was depicted in the comics. Some good sculpting on the abdominals there. The paint applications are tight in both the green and black sections. The back of the torso has more problems than the front, so I really think that the upper back should have had some more definition. And I don't like that they put this stamp in an obvious place back here. If you've got to do that, hide it somewhere a little bit better. The lantern in the symbol is very thin. Now, it doesn't look bad, and some artists did draw it like this over the years, but I would have preferred a more standard symbol. And she has been drawn with a basic Green Lantern uniform at times, so I really would have liked a variant figure. Now let's take a look at the arms, and this is the biggest shortcoming of this figure. As you can see, they're just too thin. And I don't understand why Mattel did this with so many of their female figures in this line. It was even more noticeable with characters like Wonder Woman, who's supposed to be more muscular. But even in this case, as you can see, these arms are very small. I'll show you the articulation in just a minute, but even doing that made me feel nervous because I feel like these arms are fragile because they're so small. The paint applications are done very well. As you can see, the green in the joint here, so I'll give credit where it's due, but the size of these arms is an obvious problem. Conversely, this head sculpt is magnificent. There is so much to like here. You can see these strands of curls that encircle her cheekbones. You can see the individual strands of hair. I really appreciate the attention to detail with the individual strands of hair. You can see that not only up here in the part, but underneath the back here. So I'm very appreciative of that. The skin tone is accurate for someone from Korogar. And the paint applications on the eyes and the lips, those have all been done very well. And I do like this expression. This is really fine work by Mattel. I am thoroughly impressed by the work on this ring. I went through some of my old Volume 2 comics looking for close-ups of her ring, and I found one in Volume 2, number 193, and this is very accurate to that. The size, the shape, and the paint applications are very precisely done on this ring. It's prominent, it's eye-catching, and that's exactly the way that a ring on a lantern figure should be. Here's another view of the ring, and you can see just how well it has been sculpted and painted. In terms of articulation, there's a peg joint at the ankles. They move back and forth. There's no real pivoting to speak of. There's a swivel at the quadriceps, and that does give you posing options. The legs move out to the sides pretty well, although I expected just a little bit more. She can step back, so I'm very appreciative of that. She can kick forward this far, although the leg is at somewhat of a weird angle. There's a single jointed knee, and you can articulate it into this angle. Certainly don't press it any further because this is an older figure. The torso pivots back and forth, as you can see. The abdominals crunch forward, and you can get her to rock back that much, so you can get her into a flying pose. There's rotation at each of the wrists. As I alluded to before, these single jointed elbows feel fragile to me, so I don't want to push those at all. She does have the bicep swivel. You can raise the arms up to the sides this much, so there's a look at the wingspan, so you can get her into the big power pose. And the arms do a 360 at the shoulder joint. In terms of the neck joint, the head moves side to side, although I'm getting a little bit of resistance, so I'm going to be very careful here. There's no movement upward, although she can look down. There's a minor amount of head tilting, although I would have preferred more. I hope you have enjoyed this review. If so, please like, subscribe, and tell your friends to do the same. Stay tuned for some articulation shots, and also remember to catch me on the Emerald Echo podcast, where we cover the adventures of all of your favorite ring slingers, and that's part of Multiverse Musings, the vidcast, which is available right here on YouTube. And I'll be back with more Green Lantern-related content soon. But until we meet again, this has been the Emerald Enthusiast, and thanks for watching.